为至诚礼三问是礼问称。三称佛号：南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。Please be seated. Thomas, come. Good evening, brothers and sisters. How are y'all today? Okay. The excitement I hear in the good makes me wonder what you all have in store for me. More than what I have in store for you. Good. Okay. Alright, good is good, huh? But before I start, I want to extend some concerns for our brothers and sisters in Indonesia. What is the outcome? I haven't seen any updates since. There's no tsunami, right? Okay, I'm glad. Yeah, it was 8.2 or something, and then they downgraded it to 7.9 and so on. Yeah. So, but in any case, I hope that the thing will just quell over. Yeah, there was an earthquake yesterday. Yeah, sometime I don't know that. Huh? Yeah. The funny thing was I was in my office and I heard a creak like. I was like, yeah, I heard, and I thought that it was someone outside. Then after that, no, that's not the door sound. Yeah. So I didn't think much about it, and later on, I was told by a friend that there was an earthquake around that time. So who knows? Yeah, I hope that there's nobody who is hurt. Yeah. Okay, so where did we stop? Yes, still at the alaya consciousness. Alaya shi. So a bit of a recap. What is alaya? Alaya refers to storage. Yeah, and as far as storage is concerned, there is the consciousness as the container. Yeah, as the storage container, if you will. Yeah, and this is referring to the ability to store. Then there is the other aspects of storage in terms of that which is being stored. Yeah, in this case, the karmic seeds. Yeah, here, 诸法种子. Yeah, okay. Those seeds itself, the seeds itself refers to the karmic seeds, the karmic imprints. Yeah. How do these seeds come about? It comes about through our interaction in this world. Yeah, as we think, as we speak, as we act. Yeah, or what the Buddha in the teachings refer to as body, speech, and mind. Yeah, through our body, speech, and mind, as we act, speak, or think. Yeah, these three types of actions. In Buddhism, when we talk about actions, it's not just about our physical actions, yeah, but verbal actions as well. And then even our mental processes. Now this may sound troubling for some people, because then, wow, all the times I have unwholesome thoughts about my boss. Oh, I want to kill my boss. Yeah. How many of you want to strangle your boss? Don't raise your hand. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we have such thoughts, yeah? Or sometimes maybe you're on the road and you see this car just drive recklessly and you're like, oh, how can you hit? And you may have not so pleasant thoughts. Maybe not outright evil, not harmful thoughts, but you feel a sense of frustration. Is that part of it? Yes, yeah, but even though it is classed under unwholesome thoughts, but there's different degrees as well. Yeah, the different degrees, yeah, that makes a difference. Yeah, but of course, again, we went through in previous weeks about how we should not be complacent as well, because if you were to allow unwholesome thoughts, yeah, no matter how minor, to keep on being planted, sowed, yeah, that would gradually accumulate. And when it accumulates up to a certain point, hit critical mass, then it's time for payday. Time for payday. Similarly, we went through about how we should not think lightly of good. Do not think, I'm nobody, I never do much good. Yeah? Or you think, oh, others, they are able to donate so much money, or they are so capable, what can I do? No, don't think in that way. Yeah, are you all good people? Say yes. Yes. Not sure. Okay, we have 100 over good people and 1 unsure. Yeah. I want to give you a piece of good news. Okay. Let me ask you a few simple questions. Have you ever held the lift door for someone? Yes. Then you're a good person. Now you may think, well, Sifu, you lower the bar so much, you know. Like, are you insulting me or what? No, I'm not. Do not think lightly of this. You know, because you never know. Maybe that person just got fired, and you held the door for him, and he felt like, okay, there's some hope for humanity, you know. Yeah. Maybe that person, and no joke, you never know. Maybe that person was going to take a lift up to do something to his life. And because you held the door for him, because all his life doors has always closed on him. But that one time you hold it for him and say, you know, and you look out and maybe he or she was expecting you to just close. Yeah? And then you held. And that may well just be enough for that person to change his mind. You know? You never know. Yeah, so don't think little of these small little actions. Yeah, don't think it that way. I have this strange habit. Nowadays, I don't really have a chance to do it so often. Yeah, but sometimes in the monastery, yeah, I will encounter people who may come to the monastery and they look a bit listless. The eyes looks a bit off, you know. Sometimes I will turn around and just backtrack a bit and just hello, are you okay? And sometimes purposely, literally do this. Yeah, just to, shock the system a bit and make them smile a bit or what. Yeah, you never know. And I actually got to know some devotees here this way. Yeah. Many years, in I think the first year I was here, first or second year I was here, I think the first year, because at the point in time, no duties whatsoever. Every day I would spend my day on the fourth floor meditating and reading the text. So one time, I finished, and then there was this gentleman. Something tells me that he wanted to talk to me. Yeah. But if I had, and I talked to him, and it turned out that he was in a bad situation. Yeah. So you never know. Yeah, you never know. Yeah. If you find someone in your office, yeah, or maybe even whoever, yeah, just say, hello, are you okay? Yeah. Maybe that is all it takes. Yeah. And for every single act that you do, whether it's just holding the door lift, yeah, or the lift door rather, the lift door, or just saying hello, yeah, just greeting a person, that plants a seed. That plants this connection between you and another sentient being. For quite a few years now, I've been doing this very simple exercise. Do you want to do metta meditation? The cultivation of loving kindness and compassion. Yeah, we usually do it in meditation. Let me share with you this. I've shared with various classes before. I spent 4 years in Buddhist library, and each time when I go to take a train, I walk past the coffee shop, and this is what I would do. I'll try to make eye contact with people and smile at them and nod at them. Yeah, so sometimes the uncle, auntie, or whoever is at the coffee shop, they're eating, then they look up and they see me, and then they'll be like, yeah, and then they'll look up again. Oh, he's still looking at me. Yeah, and I'll smile at them until they. Yeah. Now, not all of them acknowledge that. Yeah, some of them will just. There were one or two who just stared at me like that, ungazing. Yeah, but most of them ask them for money. Yeah. Yeah, maybe some of them have some bad experience. 开玩笑，哎，不去打听打听我先做什么了。Ask you for money. What are you gonna do? Ask me to do enterprise application interface for you. Integration. Anyway, yeah. But oftentimes, regardless of their gender, regardless of their age, and sometimes the Bangladesh worker on the streets, I will just not to them. Yeah, and sometimes they are the first instant they are a bit surprised and they don't know how to react, But after that, when they realize that, hey, you are really, having that good view towards them, you can see their face really, just shining. Yeah. To me, that's my way of practicing metta. And then in my mind, I would wish for them to be well and happy. And I find that one thing I observe when I do this is that even after the person has passed, I have passed that person, for a good maybe 30 seconds, the smile just stays there, and I'm just yeah. And if you do this often, yeah, then in my opinion, this is metta bhavana, the cultivation, the repeated practice of this. Yeah. The first time we do this, when we say first time, it's never the first time. We have so many lives. Yeah, but the first time we consciously do this in this life, yeah, then that plants a seed. Such that the next time when you encounter a similar situation, a potential for you to extend goodwill again, it becomes easier. Yeah, the habitual tendency is the same mechanism of habitual tendency. Yeah, the same mechanism that we think we want to get rid of. The habitual tendency to flare up and be angry is the same mechanism that allows us to show concern for others. Yeah, the same mechanism. It's just that you put in different things. It is like your handphone. Yeah, it is like your television. The same screen, but you can watch rubbish. You can also read Dharma text on it. Yeah, on your big screen TV, you can watch documentaries, learn something about this world. Or you can, well, not always watch the documentary. You can also watch comedy and laugh about it. Yeah, the content itself is up to us. And the Buddha, in his wisdom, instead of making us say, "Okay, get rid of your habitual tendency," no. Use the same mechanism, no problem. Yeah, but encourage us to plant new seeds. Yeah, and from the new seeds, then arises new habitual tendencies. Those that is inclined towards purity, those that is inclined towards wholesomeness. In this way, we gradually purify. Yeah, this is one of a very important quality of the alaya consciousness. Yeah, the previous week, where did we stop? Did we stop here or did we stop here? We stopped at the Sanxiang, right? Oh, okay. We haven't started on this. Okay. So the part about cultivation, yeah, is part of this whole process. Yeah, the whole process. So previously I shared with you all this. We went through this already. Yeah, now we're going to go through this. Yeah. So give me a second. Let me get my. Let's just go through the last of the definition again. 执障, yeah, the attachment store. The store, the basis of our attachment, so to speak. Yeah. When we talk about attachment, it is our attachment to our very life, things around us, every other thing. Attachment as mine, me and myself. Yeah. 执障指第八识，恒背第七莫那识. Yeah. So our mind, the seventh consciousness, which is none other than our mind, yeah, is perpetually, always grasping onto the eighth consciousness. Earlier we mentioned about which aspect of eighth consciousness? Yeah, the materialized aspect, yeah, which is basically our whole existence. Yeah, we are always attached, yeah, have this tendency, and where does it come from? Come from the mind. Yeah. 恒背第七莫那识，爱执为自内我体. Yeah, so through this attachment, identify, grasp onto it as mine, as me, yeah, as this very self. When we look at this, one may find a bit of a disconnect. If you find that you feel a bit disconnected, like, okay, so what is this about? Don't worry, this is quite normal. Yeah, a student sent me a text asking me about this alaya consciousness. So I thought I think it's important to clarify. The alaya consciousness is the alaya consciousness, not the eighth sense. Okay. In terms of sense basis, there's the first five and then number 6. Yeah, alaya consciousness is purely that consciousness. All right. This is also where the seeds are stored. So, in terms of our day-to-day, can you see the alaya consciousness? Can we see alaya consciousness? No, we can't see alaya consciousness. In the text that I've quoted often, Mahayana Sangraha, yeah, this is what we call Se Da Chen Lun. Have I written? Have I written down for you all? I have, right? Yeah, 十大乘论, the summary of the great vehicle. So in this commentary, it is highlighted that the eighth consciousness is so subtle and that ordinary folks, unenlightened beings, cannot know of its existence if not for the compassionate teachings of the Buddha. Yeah, because this student was asking me that when she shared with her friend told her that she knows of a person who has the what is that? Yin Yang Yan. Do you know of anyone with Yin Yang Yan? In any group, there will always be someone who knows of someone who has Yin Yang Yan. Yeah, but seldom directly, huh? But anyway, then this friend claims that that person who has Yin Yang Yan, basically some kind of spiritual eye, or can actually see alaya consciousness. So I was like, really? At the first place, most Buddhists don't even know what is alaya consciousness. This person who has Yin Yang Yan know that he can see alaya consciousness. I don't know. I don't know whether this person have Yin Yang Yan to begin with. Okay, yeah. So as far as the teaching goes, alaya consciousness is so subtle, we have no way to directly see it. Not at this stage anyway. Yeah. Only when you practice to a high degree, yeah, then can you perceive it. Yeah, can you perceive it? Yeah. In which case it is where you can actually see the functioning of karma. Yeah. So then, what of our present state? Because if you cannot see it, then why teach you all, right? Yeah. While we cannot see it directly, the Buddha described its functioning and the impact on us. Yeah. Because of its ability to store seeds. Yeah. Even if you don't receive the result immediately, don't think that there are no consequences. This is one of the very important teachings that we commonly call karma, that we commonly call law of causality. Yeah. The teaching on alaya consciousness is fundamental to the support of causality. Other than that, earlier we mentioned about attachment. Yeah. So if you were to go back and do reflection, so we are attached to eight consciousness. But if we don't even know the eight consciousness, how can we be attached to it? Isn't it? That's a conundrum. Yeah. So instead of trying to look for the eight consciousness to do something about it, yeah, know that it is the functioning of the eight consciousness, yeah, the features of eight consciousness that the Buddha focused on, yeah, that this teaching focused on. Yeah. Not so much for you to go and find it and so on and so forth, yeah, but to consider that if it functions in this way, then what is the implication on our life? Yeah, which we will gradually see. Okay, now we are just seeing parts of it. All right, so far so good. Yeah. So once we wrap up alaya consciousness, before we go into the next section, then there will be something else that is more interesting. So next, yes. Yes. See what? See the past actions. Okay. Venerable Mahamoggallana. Yes. Yes. Arahant. Yes. 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 Able to what? Able to see and then? No, there's a point. There's a point you're trying to make, but you somehow skip it. When he can see that in the past life he did something bad, and so shouldn't he? Why couldn't he? That he would. Okay. Okay. Okay, and oh, I didn't know that was what you were trying to say. No, not necessarily. Let me give you an example of how people with psychic power can draw the wrong conclusion. In the Buddha's time, there's what we call 牛狗外道. Yeah, the dog cow ascetic. Yeah, dog cow ascetic. Yeah, ascetics. Yeah. So what it means is that these ascetics, some of them would live and act like a dog. There are those that live and act like a cow. Yeah, yeah. But what is the basis for this practice? The basis is that their teacher, at some point, used their psychic vision, and then saw that some dogs passed away and then got reborn in heaven. Then some of them saw that cows, after dying, got reborn in heaven. So they draw the wrong conclusion just seeing this part and think that, oh, living like a cow is a life of purity. That's why you can be reborn in heaven. Yeah, and then those dogs, they must have lived a life of purity. So they gave the teaching, from now on we will live like cows. You eat, and then you chew, you swallow, and later on you regurgitate and then chew again. Yeah. So the Buddha come along and say, no, you are not seeing the whole picture. You have the psychic vision, the divine vision, but you don't have the divine wisdom. You don't have the wisdom to see the whole picture. So then he clarified that the rebirth itself is due to some other past karma. It is just that this person, after being reborn as a cow, that was the last life as a cow, yeah, of the past negative karma that has ripened and then completed. And because the next most potential one is a rebirth in a heavenly being, in a heavenly realm, and that is due to a wholesome deed. Yeah. So this is an example I'm giving to illustrate that simply having psychic power to see whether it's the past or the future doesn't mean that they will draw the right conclusion. Yeah. Yeah. So in the text it doesn't say that simply having psychic vision will allow a person to see alaya consciousness. Okay? So, that is your question, right? Okay. Sometimes I bring in 300 stories, and then never answer the question. And everybody is so excited about story, I forget about question. Yes. Yes. Correct. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the point here, perhaps the even more important point here is that the practice itself, while alaya consciousness is a very core part, yeah, of this set of teachings, but the practice itself is not focused on the alaya consciousness. Yeah, because alaya consciousness is the recipient end. Yeah, so as long as you practice, as long as you do the right reflection, you will plant the right seeds. Yeah, you will plant the right seeds. It is like to make sure that you get paid at the end of the month. You don't worry about your bank. Understand? You don't keep on worrying about your bank. Of course, there's a limit to this analogy. You can also argue and say, but I should worry about the bank in case the bank collapses. Yeah, assuming a bank that doesn't collapse, then the right thing to do is worry about your work. Yeah, make sure you do the right work, then you will plant the necessary conditions for seeds inside your bank. So similarly, in the Yogacara teaching, the focus, although alaya consciousness play a crucial part in the whole teaching, but the focus of practice is not on alaya consciousness. And that's why I highlight that fundamentally in the teachings, unenlightened beings cannot see it directly. And the whole practice is still about the mind. Still about the mind. Yes? Can. Very good question later. Okay. I promise. Remind me. Okay, 三相。这第八世有三相三位的差别。So, in terms of the eighth consciousness, this alaya consciousness, there are features, okay, features about it that distinguishes it from the three stages, if you will, okay. 三相即智相、果相、因相。What are the three features? I usually translate 相 as features. Basically aspects about this thing. Firstly, that is its own self feature. Something that is specific to itself. 果相, the resulting feature, or the fruition feature. And lastly, causal feature. We will look at what these three means. 智相, so the first one, 即 alaya. So what is alaya again? Storage. 具有能障、所障、执障的意义. So this is earlier we mentioned about three aspects of alaya. What is the meaning of alaya? So here it says this is its own feature. This is its own feature. 此显示了第八世所有智相. So all the features of alaya is totally contained within this tree. This is the first thing. And this part is actually quite standard. Don't have to overthink it. Wow, what is this 智相? It's basically saying, if, for example, if you want to describe a friend, what are the features about this person? Maybe this person is very, very one-dimensional, only know how to work. Then you say, well, this person's, if you want to describe this person as far as his personal, unique character, you just talk about his work. In this case, if you talk about alaya consciousness, then its personal, unique feature is basically defined earlier, the three aspects. That which can store, that which is stored, and the attachment store, which we've gone through last week and I just repeated just now. Okay? So this part, standard stuff, let's move on. Okay? Second part, 果相即易熟时. This one, earlier I put a footnote and I said I will explain. Later. This is the later. 易熟时. Yi Shu Shi. Sorry, not sing. Below is the four dots, not the sing. Sorry. Yi Shu Shi. So, 此事能引发诸戒趣. So this is the part where I've shared earlier about how the alaya consciousness is able to give rise to the various realms. Give rise to various realms. 能引发诸戒趣. Okay, let me explain the whole this sentence first. Okay, 此是 this 此是 here, this refers to first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth consciousness. Okay, yeah, this refers to the eighth consciousness. Okay, that the alaya consciousness nan yin fa can give rise, can manifest, yeah, can induce and then give rise to. Okay, give rise to what? Yin fa zhu jie qu, all the various realms. So these two are different characters. Jie refers to the san jie. What we typically there are different translations. Okay, so here can be translated as the what we call yu jie, se jie, wu se jie. So this is the sensual desire realm, or this word jie can be translated as realm, or what is the other one? Sphere. Then se jie refers to form, and then formless. Now, these are technical terms, standard terms that is this is the standard translation. Okay. Human realm itself fall under the sensual desire sphere or realm. Yeah, sensual desire realm itself encompasses what we call the 6 different aspects, the 6 different realms, which are the heavenly, human, asura, ghost, animal, and hell. Yeah, are you all familiar with these 6 realms? Yeah, by now you all should be familiar. Yeah, yeah, because this should have been covered in year 1 or year 2, huh? Year 2. Okay, so this is the san jie. Okay, then qu. Oh, sorry, this is qi. Yeah, san qu. This refers to, in many places, translated as destination. Destination. Yeah. Fourth sphere. Form sphere. One by there's only one realm. Yes. Yes, only heavenly realm. But the heavenly realm itself is split into 4 jhanas, and each of the jhana is split into 3 different layers, with the 4th jhana, the upper layer, split into 5. Yeah, which is the 5 pure abbot. Yeah, I'm not going into the specific because this is not so much the context here. Okay. Then for formless realm, it is also split into 4. Yeah, the base of infinite space, then base of infinite consciousness, then base of nothingness, then base of neither perception nor perception. Yeah, 非想非非想出天. Yeah. Yeah. So that is the formless realm, formless realm. But all these are considered heavenly realm. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So, how come there's an end here? Come for Dharma class, huh? So, what are the 5 destinations? The 5 destination is another term for the 6 realms. In the earlier text, like in the Pali Canon, Asura is not mentioned as a separate realm. Yeah. So the 5 destination refers to heaven, human, ghost, animal, and hell. Yeah. So when we say 引发诸界趣, that can give rise, manifest the various spheres and or realms and destination, is referring to one thing. Yes, it's not that these two are separate things. Okay, not separate things. It's just a different classification. Okay, different classification. Everybody understand? Can eye contact lie? Can this side okay? This side okay? Here okay? Can. Good. So, 引生善不善业报的异熟果。So, 所以名为异熟。这显示了第八世的不共果相。Yeah, so this part is distinct. Yeah, different. If you look at this portion here, when we talk about 异熟时, what is the meaning? Huh? 五趣 三界五趣 The alaya consciousness. Then we have this is number 8. Then we have number 7. Which is basically the mind. Then we have the number 6 consciousness. And this is the mind consciousness. Then beyond that, then we have the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. Yeah. And corresponding to the form, sound. You see that? You see? You see? This, I'm not kidding you. Sound, smell, taste, touch. And then somewhere here we have the mental objects. So from these two, then give rise to the eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and then together these give rise to this mind consciousness. So when this first, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this number 8. When the first 7 consciousness function, then what happened? This plants the seed. Okay? This is what we call the perfuming process. Remember? Yeah? In the previous lessons, I have mentioned about how, in today's context, I would use a hard disk, yeah, to illustrate the point. And a hard disk, very interestingly, describes this very nicely, because when we say so-called plant a seed, when you plant a seed, the consciousness don't grow or shrink. Yeah. Likewise, when you add data to the hard disk physically don't change in size. Yeah, don't change in size. Of course, there's a point to the analogy. The hard disk can reach its capacity and then have 0 bytes left. But so this process itself, when you plant the seed, once it's planted, so let's assume that there's some seed here. So in the teachings in the Mahana Samgraha, my teacher highlighted, when seeds are planted, the seeds itself, whether it's wholesome or unwholesome and so on, they cannot be distinguishable. You cannot distinguish this is this seed, this is that seed. Seeds are all seeds. A very interesting description. Yeah, the seeds are all just seeds. So in this way, this is where what I've learned differs slightly from the definition here. Okay, I mentioned before. I will explain to you first what is being taught. Then, if there's any variance, I will highlight also. So here, this portion, 易熟食, literally varied ripening consciousness. And it refers to how the seeds would give rise to various different realms. When we say various different realms, it includes this portion here. It includes this portion here. Form, sound, smell, taste, touch. This is the external world. Yeah? The various realms is basically this portion. But if you include sentient beings within the various realms, then it basically is the first 7 consciousness plus the external world. Yeah, plus the external world. Okay? Yeah. So the seeds itself give rise to various different worlds. This is the definition from the text. So far so good? Yeah, if we can, we are okay with this, then I move on to what my teacher highlighted. Everybody okay? This part is quite easy and straightforward. You plant seeds, you get different. Yes. Yes. All consciousness are arisen from the 8th consciousness. Okay? Any other? Okay. So, my teacher explains that there is actually a second layer, which is that when we act, we may have wholesome, unwholesome, or neither wholesome nor unwholesome. But when it's planted into alaya consciousness remains neutral. So in the state, when you plant the seeds itself is in a neutral state. It is neither wholesome nor unwholesome. Yeah? The alaya consciousness itself is neither wholesome nor unwholesome. If alaya consciousness is purely wholesome, then the seeds you plant in will conflict. Yeah? So at the seeds portion in the consciousness, all just identical, so to speak. Okay, so this is the first varied ripening. This is the first of the varied ripening. You have different actions, but you plant when it is in the state of the seed, they are all the same. Then from this, when it ripens, it's again different. Second level. At the seed level, seems to be the same. But when it ripens, then you can see the distinction. If you can actually examine the seed, it appears to be the same. Cannot tell a difference. But only when it fully ripened, then you can see, there's so much variety. Different realms, different results. Some painful, some this and some that. Okay? Yeah. So according to my teacher, this is the full elaboration of this term. 一熟识. Yeah, varied ripening consciousness. So varied in these two levels. Okay? First level is when you are planting the seed. Second level is when it's ripening. Yes. Yeah, it just store it. At the second level, there's no distinction. Yeah, second. No. At the seed level. At the seed level, there's no distinction. When it ripens, again, there's distinction. It is in this aspect that it is said to be a varied or variant ripening consciousness. What? Why you give me a scowl? What? Ask your question now. Don't have to give me a face mark. What? What? When it ripens? When it ripens, then we call that vipaka. Yeah. Sifu can see, you all cannot see. Yeah, vipaka. Yeah, and vipaka is actually in the next part here. In the next part here. So, who determines? Colored by our mental state. Colored by our mental state. Not so much define it, but determine whether it's going to be wholesome or unwholesome. When we say determine, it's not a classification. It is that, okay, will your action be wholesome or unwholesome? It's up to you, ma. You have evil thought, then it's unwholesome. Yeah, so it's different from what you end up concluding. Your question is about who set the bar. Who is the holder of morality? Who defines morality? In Buddhism, nobody defines it. Yeah, it is simply based on. It's not so much defined in a way. It is basically that there are those who, when they experience pain, they don't want it. Yeah, in Buddhism, it's very simply defined by pain versus pleasure. Yeah. If you do something with an intention for people to experience pain, and then from there, the result that you experience is pain, that is unwholesome. Yeah, your intention itself is for people to experience pain and suffering. When you do something, okay? Yeah, so you may speak very nicely to a person, but your intention is to harm that person. still that is unwholesome. And it doesn't matter whether you go against, let's say, your teacher's instruction or not. Yeah. In Buddhism, it's not about who defined it. So there's no such a thing as, oh, the Buddha's, or like the Buddha is not like an overall judge to come and say you are right or wrong, what. But it's purely based on your own intention. Yeah. Let me explain it this way. If you were to put your handphone down nicely versus if you just throw it down, is there anyone in this world to kind of determine whether your phone should break or not? You don't need someone to define that. By your own action, that is the result. Isn't it? Karma works more that way versus, oh, you park wrongly, so there must be someone to kind of enforce it. And based on what is it enforced? There was some rule that was set. Set by who? Set by this group of people that we call legislators. No. Karma don't function in that way. Hang on. That is a bit out of the scope of this. We can look at that later, huh? So, in this school, if you look at this over here, what do we have? We have this whole section here, basically the consciousness. And then this part here, which is the world. But you notice that everything is actually given rise from the consciousness. Okay? Yeah, everything actually is manifest, yeah, or come about from this consciousness. Yeah, the number 8 consciousness, alaya consciousness. Further, in the Yogacara school, a key focus, because some of you have been asking me, like, so how do you cultivate? How do you cultivate? Okay, I think at this point we have enough of the framework scaffolding to talk about this. When we experience the world, the I sees form, giving rise to, or rather, come into contact with form, then give rise, these two together give rise to I consciousness. The three together is contact, and so on. With this I consciousness within the mind give rise to something called示意显现, which I mentioned before. Yeah. What is this 示意显现? I'm going to do a literal translation first. 示意显现 literally means appearance alike to meaning. 意 basically refers to meaning. So far so good? Then let me explain. What is 意? 为是无意. The word 意 here and this 意 is the same thing. Okay, this refers to meaning, but here if you just take it literally, you'll be like, huh? What do you mean? Something that arises that is a like meaning. What meaning? What are we talking about? It basically, this meaning here refers to substantiality. Yeah, it is saying the external world in Yogacara. Okay, external world, the table and chair, has some substance. Okay, and this substance is different from what we perceive in our mind. The table that we perceive in our mind through our senses, that has no substance. That table in our mind has no essence. That table that we see, 唯是无意, is only consciousness and has no substance. Just try to know first, okay? Don't try to understand. Yeah, okay? 唯是无意. Basically, that can be extended to everything. Why do we suddenly jump to everything? I thought we are only talking about consciousness, because apart from our consciousness through which we are aware of this world, is there this world? You cannot talk about this world apart from your consciousness. Whatever you see, you hear, you smell, you taste, you touch, or even think, yeah, is based on what you have interacted through the senses and consciousness. And that's why in this school, it established this very simple statement, 唯是无意. That all things in this world is in fact, in a way, yeah, nothing but just your consciousness. No substantiality. Yeah. Okay, so just try to know that this is what is being taught. Okay? Don't try to understand and, like, okay, yeah, just at least know first. Okay? Cheap, huh? It's like mind-blowing. Huh? Yeah, it's just like in the Heart Sutra, everything empty. Wow. Yeah. This one also talk about empty, but empty in a slightly different way. Yeah? Instead of negating the world outside, it tells you, they put in one more step here. Yeah? That this world only exists to us through our consciousness. The consciousness is different from the world outside. So the consciousness has no substantiality. The world outside, in Yogacara school, the world outside has substantiality. The world outside is manifested from your alaya consciousness. It has substantiality. Who don't agree? Who don't agree? You have a flying mud cap. If you read a lot of the Zen koan, Zen story, you see this. Yeah, the monk, they will go and visit different masters and then learn from them, then share with them their revelation, their realization, Then what happened? Tell the Zen master, I have meditated so long and I have realized that all things are really just nothing, empty, don't exist. Why do you hit me? Oh, the slap is still not something. Yeah. Yeah. So it is said, according to we discuss this a lot, and we have this thinking from our lineage that at some point people figure out, so even if they give me a slap, yeah, I must not react. Yeah, so it probably didn't start off with a slap. Probably start off with something more trivial. Yeah, maybe the master criticized your idea. How can you criticize my idea? This idea is so... so your idea is still real. Oh, okay. Idea is not real also. Okay, maybe 3 years later come back. I have discovered idea is also not real. Wow, you are so enlightened. Well done. Yeah. Oh, so your enlightenment is also real. So idea is not real, this also not real, everything not real. Everything is not real. After a few, everything is not real. Wow, that's amazing. Yes, but it's also not real. Oh, very good, Then sure or not? Oh, so the banging table is real. So after that, wow, maybe I don't know, maybe practice. Wow. Then after that, that's also not real. Wow. So wow, then up the bar, Why you hit me? Oh, your head is still real. Yeah. This is how it is said that the Zen, each time they say that they are realized, yeah. In many ways, when they say that they are realized, in many ways, some of the realization is that they realize that they are not realized yet. And I will tell you this. This realization, from what I observe, and for me personally, is a very important first realization. Yeah. There was once, at some point, I came here for novice retreat and everything, then, seems to be, So at some point I'm like, what else is there to do, Yeah, and I figured that I'm too lazy, cannot make it, So, seems to be okay. And for most of you, after you learn some Buddhism, you start to go into this very, very nice state, because you do a lot of giving, you practice right speech, your action is good, so you are in such harmony with everybody. And then plus a bit of Dharma teachings, emptiness, Heart Sutra, Laksa, zone, nothing can rifle you. Yeah? Yeah, then you go into this quasi-enlightened stage. Yeah, and you start to wonder is that it? And then you start going to different centers and ask, how do you know whether you're enlightened or not? Just in case, I get enlightened, I don't know. For me, I went through that stage also. Yeah, seriously, after a while, if everything seems to just go very smoothly, and even when things don't go too smoothly, you are able to just ride across it. You're like, hey, okay, what? Wow, then one day, I must thank my second sister. Yeah, 我的丑事你们要记录，现在赶快记录。So, no problem, record. Yeah, so one day, and I'm sharing with you this, hopefully that it will trigger something for you. Okay, don't be afraid of getting angry. Don't be upset with yourself for being angry. So one day, my second sister, for some reason, came into the room, and then, because back then, I was having my own room, and then two of them, elder and second sister, in the other room. But then, my second sister's computer was in my room. So there were two computer desks, and then my bed, and then wardrobe, and the attached bathroom. So then, she decided that my things was overflowing to her side. This is as primary school as it gets, This didn't happen when I was in primary school. This happened when I was already working. Yeah, I came here for retreat already. So that I was 28. So when she said that, I was like, what are you talking about? And she was she shifted everything boom, and then just that line, just push across to my side, Yeah, and then something snapped. From that cool, Zen, something up here snapped. And I was really upset. But not yet. So, okay, fine, whatever. Then I remember that we went back to her room, because there was a TV there, we were watching TV. Then at some point we started arguing about it. Argue. Then, second person I must be grateful for my awakening of how I'm not awakened. My mother. Wow, she see that we are quarreling. Wow, I don't know how many mothers do this, but my mother would always come in and say, 老母狗底了查什么查? Your mother is still alive. How can you quarrel? blah, blah, blah. And my mom's justice is very simple. Everybody is wrong. Keep quiet. Cannot quarrel. Yeah. And then that's still okay, I'm so used to it. Then I remember, okay, my memory happened to be quite good. It's not that I cake out, please. It's not that I write down diary or still upset. I'm long over it. But I just happen to have relatively good memory. So my mom that day, she added one more word. Yeah, and that really tipped the balance. She said, you're a man, why are you so petty? Wow, that's it, man. I look at her with that kind of like crazy look. And I said, oh, you think I'm petty? You really think I'm petty? I'll show you what is petty. I stood up. I stood up, walked out, went into my room, and then I unplugged all the cables of my sister's computer. Yeah. And it was those Situka table, And I unlocked the wheels, and I pushed it out. And then the two of them tried to stop me. And then I went up to my mom and I said, Mom, don't stop me. With the kind of very serious, I don't scream and shout, but I just tell her, don't stop me. And it was with that crazy look. So I remember my mom asking my sister, I tell you, my mom quickly scattered my second sister. My second sister was still like, wow. I pushed out the table all the way to the living room and then just set it there. Yeah. And I think I must have removed some of that back. You see, there's a certain context. I haven't tell you the context. The context is, although that's my room, the computer is my room. And then there's this 4-panel wardrobe. But I'm only using like one and a half panel. The top rows are all their things. The other half are all their things. And I don't care, I'm like, as long as I have a place for my things, I never even complain that they are putting things in my room. And then, and then my mom tell me, you're petty. Wow. So I did that. Yeah, I really did that. Yeah, nothing proud. I'm not being proud. I may laugh and look like I'm enjoying myself here, but I'm not proud to tell you that I did that. Yeah, because after that, I went out of the house, slammed the door along the way. I was still quite upset. But then, after that, in fact, the funny thing is that it was shortly after the retreat. Yeah, and that's the thing, to me, that's the beauty of that incident. Because you're so close to the retreat. It was shortly after that. I remember very specifically, I was wearing t-shirt and some slack, some jogging pants or whatever. Yeah, and my hair was still short from the retreat. Yeah. So, as I walked out, I didn't want to have any more confrontation. I walked out, and then Aljunied MRT, the tracks, not the track itself, but below. I walk up and down, I walk up and down like I was like trying to calm myself, pacing and then reflecting, and I was like, gosh, what just happened? I just finished a retreat. How can this happen? Like, wow, I totally lost my mind. Because as you practice, then everything seems to be okay, So to me, that was such a beautiful wake-up call, especially when it's so close to the retreat. It was a smack in the face, in your spiritual face, your head becomes so big. Wow, I'm a cultivator, I go for 2 novice retreat. Wow, what can move me? 八风吹不动，一屁打过江。The next day, at that point in time, my sister would sometimes drive me to work. Sometimes I would drive her to work. I think that the next morning, I think, along the way, or evening or morning, I can't remember. But I told my sister, I said, you know what happened? Then she said, yeah. My sister's, one thing, yeah, my elder one. No, not the second one. No, I never hit my sisters, never. Except my younger one. When I was a kid. When I was a kid, play, I don't know why, I also don't know why. Kids are just pick pock. Yeah. But I told my sister, and then she said, yeah, I know. And I told her, I said, I told her, I said, I'm not satisfied. Hear me out. I told her, I'm not satisfied. I still got angry. I still have this potential to be angry. I must do something about it. At that point in time, I was still not thinking I must go and become a monk. Okay? Yeah, but shortly after, I went for the meditation retreat, and then boom, yeah, became a monk. Yeah, I think it's a whole series of events, over several years. Yeah, yeah, but it's not because 想不开，是想开了，是想通了。Yeah, for me it was that simple. Yeah, but it was not just this. Yeah, it was a series of other events as well. Yeah, so to me that was a very important realization that I was not realized yet. And I'm sharing this with you because it is very easy when we attend Dharma class and to look at it and say, yeah, okay, and then to memorize this and then go and do research, read here, read there, and then, wow. It's quite easy to get into that track and become complacent. And this is, I'm very happy that I got that slap. Because not easy, not easy to find someone to upset you that way. Yeah. And then to realize that you're not awakened. Yeah. Because for me that was a very important wake-up call. Because otherwise it's very easy to fall into complacency. What I've often described in classes to be a major pitfall. This is harder to get out than other pitfall. Yeah, when you get into this complacency pitfall, yeah, when everything seems to you just cruise along, feels like everything is okay. Very hard to progress. When you have a lot of defilements that's active, are easy to practice because you actively want to change yourself, ma. But when you practice to a point, not here, not there, like it seems to be okay, leh. Easy to get stuck here. Then your effort start to wane. Your effort start to decline. And all that possible because of this. 为是无益. Yeah, 为是无益. Yes. No. I put in quotes meaning. Then I explained. The meaning here refers to substantiality. Not that it has no meaning or got meaning. But the meaning refers to substantiality. Repeat after me. The meaning, especially you must repeat. The meaning refers to substantiality. Okay. Yes. Huh? What left the consciousness? Why? 唯识 means only consciousness, not left with only consciousness, but only consciousness. Yeah. We must be careful. In Buddhism, the word emptiness is used in many schools. Those who have attended the Heart Sutra, when we talk about emptiness, is everything all empty. Okay? But for Yogacara, you don't say everything empty. You only say that this portion here, 示意显现, that this appearance is similar to that which has substance. Yeah, this itself has no substance. On top of that, 第六意识, this number 6 consciousness, driven by our mind, which is tainted, it have a distorted, deluded discrimination. What we call 虚妄分别。False, deluded, discrimination. 虚妄分别. This is totally empty. Yeah, these two, this itself, it still arises due to this one, but this one is just our own false imagination. This one is totally empty. Okay, in Yogacara, as far as my lineage is concerned, you go and read here, read there, then you say, but Sifu, this other text, that's not my problem. You go and ask that master who wrote it. Okay, but the lineage I was trained in, this is the part in Yogacara that we say is empty. Okay? Yes. This part is empty. And no substantiality. So, no, not itself. The sixth consciousness itself is what we call neither wholesome nor unwholesome. It is the seventh consciousness that is unwholesome that drives it to go into this false, deluded discrimination. Okay? In this case, yes. In this case, yes. In Yogacara school, the two are synonymous. Yeah? Yes. Jin. The what? How does it manifest the seven consciousness? Yes, so to speak. Yes. All planted in the other consciousness as seeds, ma. Everything arises from the seeds. Yeah. In a way, it's a very simple teaching. Yeah. Everything is centered around the seeds. You plant good seeds, you get good results. You plant bad seeds, you get bad results. You plant wholesome seeds, you get wholesome results. Yeah. Well, how is it different from what we have described? When did we say that is a data? But why don't you just consider that this first seven consciousness, yeah, when the moment they function, then they plant seeds. Is simpler. This is a simpler model. Yeah. The moment they are active, then they plant seeds. Wait, hang on. What are you trying to ask? Manifested. But you cannot... Huh? But eye consciousness, can you tell me which part of your body is the eye consciousness? Yeah, so if already with the eye consciousness you cannot visualize, so why should you be able to visualize the mind itself? Yeah. So the mind itself cannot be visualized. So your observation is correct. Yeah. But it is just like that. You cannot visualize the mind. There are those who draw diagrams to help visualize the mind. The Buddha's usage of seeds is also a visualization tool. Yeah, it's a tool to help us, understand. He described the mind like a field, and you plant seeds inside. Yeah, these are metaphors. Metaphors are tools. Yeah, but instead of trying to say I must have a way to visualize it, this over here so far the discussion is about the function. Yeah, I happen to draw it out like that. So don't try to imagine, so where's the consciousness, how does it come up with the mind? No, it doesn't work that way. No? Can? Understand? Yes. 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 The seven consciousness is the driver of taints. Yeah, the attachment. Yeah, source. So because of this, then the six consciousness have false deluded discrimination. So in the Mahayana Sangraha, it establishes a few answers for a few questions. For most of us, just remembering all this can be a challenge for some. Okay, but one can also ask, but why must it be that the six consciousness is neither wholesome nor unwholesome? So the text, the explanation, and this is a series of root questions and answers. 遮难, 遮难, yeah, or 问难, rather 问难, yeah, nan. The word nan, basically the word nan, difficult. Basically, ask difficult question to challenge the teaching. Yeah. This is the basis for many of the commentaries. Yeah. So in Buddhism, when people ask me, or people tell me, my mother say, if I ask questions, I'll go to hell. I'm like, where did she get it from? Because this is the very basis for almost all our sutras and most of our commentaries. In this particular one, the Mahayana Sangraha, almost the whole series is all root questions, not just nicely asked, no, not politely, back and forth to attack and the teachings, yeah, to clarify and really. Yeah. So one of the question was, what is the basis? Why must this be this way? Answer: because if this itself is wholesome by nature, then it cannot plant unwholesome seeds. If it's unwholesome, then it cannot plant wholesome seeds. Simple as that. Very simple. Yeah. But because this is only driven by the mind, yeah. So as long as you connect differently, then you can plant different seeds. Yeah. And this is why in Yogacara school, our huge emphasis on correct reflection, right reflection. You have to reflect and correctly so that you plant new seeds. Yeah, you plant new seeds. Yes. Huh? The what is of no essence? Wei shi, when we say Wei shi Wu Yi, it's talking about our false delusion grasping onto this as real. That part is Wei shi. The rest all, there's another term. Okay, since you asked, I have to bring it up. So if you're, it's her fault. 依他起 讲过了哈 Okay, so luckily you. So all this is known as 依他起 yeah? But the part where we grasp onto it and think that it's real, that one is 偏计所执. I've mentioned before also actually. 偏计所执. That part where you're grasping. But grasping itself, you're grasping at nothing. Yeah, we're grasping at nothing. In future lessons, I will go through the different parables that's highlighted in various commentaries to substantiate why this school says that everything that we experience is nothing but consciousness. But if you grasp onto the thing that you grasp onto, there's no substantiality. It's empty. Yeah, there are various analogies and metaphor, back and forth, question and answer to clarify why it's like that. Yeah. So this is part of the very rich tradition of this Buddhist school called Yogacara. Yeah. The learning process can be quite tedious. Yeah. So already just eight different consciousness, so many terms, and then each week one more, 2 more, 5 more, 10 more. Yeah. But with this scaffolding in place, then when we do the reflection, it becomes hopefully easier. Yeah. So previously I've given you all an exercise to go and reflect on how water cannot quench your thirst. Fire cannot burn your lips. Did you all do the reflection? How many of you did? Raise your hand. Up high lah, gangga lai. Okay. Hey, your title as 大弟子 is, we need to do a review. Yeah, so from that question, the question that I gave you all weeks ago, okay, about to reflect and consider how water doesn't quench your thirst. The word water don't quench your thirst. And the word fire, don't burn your lips. When you say water, you don't become okay. You need to drink real water. When you say fire, doesn't burn your lips. But yet, on a day-to-day basis, we are so affected by what people say. By what people say. Yeah. So to me, this is a very good entry point. Yeah, and direct application. But don't think that that's the end. Because at a later stage, then it involves going beyond the linguistic words, yeah, to the non-verbal words. Yeah, even concepts, even our perception is seen as words. Yeah, just words and no substantiality. Yeah, 名言安立的一切法都是毕竟空. Yeah, that all things that is defined by words is insubstantial. Yeah, insubstantial. Alright? Thank you very much. Put our palms together. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。Highlight again. I didn't write down here. The 虚妄分别, this false discrimination grasp onto this pseudo appearance, as real. When this happens, then this is called 遍计所执, which is basically the ubiquitous attachment to everything as real. Yeah, and this attachment itself, this attachment don't exist. Yeah, it's just a false discrimination. Okay? Alright? Let's rise and pay respect to the Buddha. 诸位至诚，礼佛行三问讯礼，一问讯，再问讯，三问讯。I'd like to also extend dedication to Celia, a cancer patient that whom I have counseled. She has passed away in the past. Today is Thursday. She passed away a few days ago. And also to